there is astral, and there's astral and like the projection of astral energy, and also gravitation. That has caused this mass, for example. This is mass, and it's actually X's body that is now moving the mass. But initially, before planet had life, like included in planet, this mass was not under, like, it was under X's, like Xe wasn't able to lift it up, and now Xe is able to, like, Xe's body. So Xe needs a body, and that is what life is. Life is body of Xe. So that finally Xe can, like, autonomously manipulate mass, just like this. So now I will be casting a spell on you and Faye. I will be casting a spell on Faye, and I will be casting a spell on you. Here's how it goes. The Mariana Trench is a reflection of, is a non sequitur, and also Mount Everest is a non sequitur. What does that mean? Non sequitur is something that is not, that cannot be, that cannot go further. So that could be any, like, basically Mount Everest is the tallest, is the most elevated mass on planet, and Mariana's Trench is the most, what's like not elevated, but okay, the greatest elevation of gravity of, like, would be Mariana's Trench, and the greatest elevation of, also these are both like the greatest elevations on the planet. Elevation. So there's Mount Everest, that's the tallest mountain in the world, and there's Mariana's Trench, that's the deepest, ocean canyon. That's the deepest canyon of the ocean of Earth. So one of them is the furthest point towards the star, and one of them is the furthest point towards the core. And this is reflected in how humans and how life, not only humans, but how life, like how Xe's body expresses, you know, expression can only happen because of reproduction. So there's this other word called a swimmer, right? A swimmer. So a swimmer is, it goes like all the way to the, I believe it's called the occipital notch, if I'm not wrong, or the occipital crest. So if you think about it, in order to reproduce, swimmers, if you know, then you know, a swimmer is supposed to basically be able to go from where the Marianas Trench is all the way to, it's supposed to go all the way to the Marianas Trench. It's supposed to dive all the way down to the Marianas Trench. So from the top of Mount Everest, let's just say, or maybe the base of Mount Everest, let's just say the base of Mount Everest, there's the base of Mount Everest is here. A swimmer has to dive all the way, the swimmer, but really, in the human body, the occipital crest is the line that's at the back of the base of the skull, and that's exactly where a swimmer is biologically. So, like, that's all those astral and gravitational pressures and forces of Xe. Remember, I said Xe's body has resulted in swimmers from the very base of Mount Everest to dive all the way, theoretically to go from the bottom all the way to the top, like to basically the nape of the neck. So that is how strong a swimmer has to be to dive all the way to the base of the neck of who? Of a female Xe, all the way to the Marianas Trench. The Marianas Trench would be the occipital crest at the base of the skull. So that's where a swimmer is diving. And who's the climber? Who's the climber who wants to get to the peak of Mount Everest? So if we think about the sea floor where the Marianas Trench, so Marianas Trench is very deep. Marianas Trench is the deepest elevation of planet. But there is the sea floor, where the sea floor would be basically like the base of Mariana Trench. And from there, a climber wants to go all the way up to where? To the peak of Mount Everest. The peak of Mount Everest. Where's the peak of Mount Everest? It's located right behind where someone's two front teeth are. Yes, where a male Xe's two front teeth, right behind a male Xe's two front teeth. Or maybe it's, I think it's at my, actually it is. No, it is. It's the behind the two front teeth. Yes, it is behind the two front teeth of a male. Those are called incisors, I believe. So I think it's, perhaps. So behind a male Xe's two front teeth, that's where the peak of Mount Everest is. Yeah. So there's total. It's a secret. There's a secret entrance to the highest elevation of planet. Okay. So it doesn't matter if someone wants to be a climber, if they are female, and it doesn't matter if Xe wants to be a climber. If male Xe can be a climber, and female Xe can be a climber, and male Xe can be a swimmer. Male Xe can be a swimmer, and female Xe can be a swimmer. Some female Xes are more swimmers some female Xes are more like divers than climbers, and some male Xes are more like climbers than divers. And so this is my insemination of this love spell. This love spell. For who? For you and for Xe. For Xe. A love spell for you and a love spell for Xe.